think the key thing is to surround yourself with motivated people. Almost by peer pressure, they'll inspire you to be motivated yourself.
Hello and welcome back to Rack the Brain channel, where we bring you stories of brilliant minds, big dreams, and the strategies behind student success. I'm your host Abhinav, and today's episode is truly special. We often hear about students who go above and beyond, those who challenge themselves, chase global opportunities, and still manage to stay grounded. Well, today we have one such inspiring story for you. Our guest today is an incredibly talented young woman who is currently in her third year of software engineering at UNSW. She recently returned from one of the most prestigious institutions in the world, Harvard University, where she was part of a highly competitive exchange program. She's not just academically driven, but also deeply passionate about learning, staying curious, and helping others grow. In this episode, we'll dive into her experience at Harvard, her study strategies, what keeps her going even on tough days, and the advice she has for the students who want to aim high and stay consistent. Please join me in welcoming Aashi Mehrotra. Aashi, how are you?
Hello, Abhinav. Thanks for that warm introduction. I'm good. Exams are roughly starting in 1 week, so I've been preparing for them. And otherwise, I've been wrapping up some research and team projects in preparation for my upcoming internship in Munich next semester. Thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Welcome to the show. What is your schedule for the day?
Generally, I try to maintain a calendar of events to make sure that I've correctly marked all of the due dates and I don't accidentally miss any events that I need to attend. On top of that, I make sure to maintain an extensive detailed to-do list with days and times marked so that I know what I need to do at a particular point in time. So this planning just helps me make sure that during the hours that I'm working, everything is actually productive. During an average day, I'd study probably 6 hours a day, and this would be split amongst sort of projects and research work, as well as academic activity. So the split is fairly even, with roughly 3 hours each. During assessment period, of course, there is some greater time spent, roughly 10 to 12 hours a day, and during those days, I'll take slightly longer breaks with sort of 15-20-minute breaks every hour. And then on top of that, there's definitely after assessment period of relaxation where I'll be doing absolutely no work for a few days.
What do you like to read in general?
Currently, I'm reading quite a few research papers for a research project that I'm working on, just to keep up to date with the field. In high school, I tended to read quite a bit of fantasy, with Sarah J. Maas being my go-to author. Right now, in an effort to be slightly more knowledgeable about the past, I'm reading Isabel Wilkerson's The Warmth of Other Suns. Otherwise, I do like to watch some historical dramas as well, such as Green Book, to learn a little bit more about the past in an entertaining manner.
I'm really keen to know what is the difference between UNSW and Harvard.
I felt the main difference was the level of flexibility that each university offers. So UNSW allows us to live wherever we want, whether it's on campus or at home. On top of that, the lectures, group work, labs, etc., they have the option of being done online in many courses. So what this does is, while that does give me the level of flexibility that if I'm sick, I can watch a lecture late, but what that also means is that I'm not forced to go and socialize and collaborate with my peers, which sometimes means that I'll choose to be lazy instead of going to an in-person lecture. At Harvard, because everything is mandatorily in person and all of the students are living on campus, what it does is it makes all of the lectures a very collaborative environment. And I got so much more out of the lectures and the professor just because I had to go there in person. I had to talk to my professor. I had to talk to all of the people around me. And it made me learn so much more than just the lecture content, especially about the way I speak and the way I address people. So it was definitely a phenomenal experience. On top of that, the lectures there are made such that the professor collaborates with the students and makes sure to ask them questions, make sure that each of the students are able to understand the content. So you can't sort of doze off in class, otherwise the professor will catch on, especially with sort of 30 students in a class. So that's definitely, I think, a fundamental difference. On top of that, I felt the quality of activities in clubs and societies were different between UNSW and Harvard. So at UNSW, they have lots of clubs, lots of societies, but students don't seem to be as involved as students back at Harvard. And over there, it's a great opportunity for networking, for socializing. They have much better funding, of course, so they'll take us out to dinners, very expensive restaurants, and it's a phenomenal experience overall.
What is your learning style?
It depends on the subject. So, of course, back in high school, in science, when we were learning about the human body or the solar system, diagrams really did help because all of those concepts are very visual. So in those subjects, I felt that the visual stimuli helped me remember things much better. better. However, currently, most of my subjects are more math heavy and they can't be visualized effectively with diagrams. So often it'll involve proofs and logical reasoning. So while I do like a step-by-step approach, which intuitively makes more sense to me, in those subjects, I don't find visual diagrams to be very helpful. Overall, I believe in terms of my learning style, it would be based off of the subject, whether it's visual or non-visual.
And what is your recommendation on food for students?
My only recommendation would be to make sure that you guys have breakfast in the morning. So for me, I take something light, just eggs, toast, and coffee. The reason for this is just that it helps you power through the day and it gives you some energy in the morning. Some students that I know that do skip breakfast find it difficult to stay alert and attentive in morning classes.
How do your parents support you to ensure that you are successful in what you do?
So my parents have offered very critical support. As an example, my mum in high school taught me how to make short-term plans and how to make them very feasible. And that's been very useful in achieving assignment due dates to a good quality. On top of this, as both of my parents are professionals, they've been very useful in helping me craft my long-term career goals. And lastly, whenever I have any form of self-doubt, my mum's been very supportive and she's helped me take that first step, which has helped me very, very much so far.
I'm really curious to know how you keep yourself motivated.
I think the key thing is to surround yourself with motivated people. Almost by peer pressure, they'll inspire you to be motivated yourself. And this also really helps beat procrastination.
And how do you handle pressure?
The main thing for me is that I try to be well prepared and follow a schedule, as I noted above, and this reduces stress. It works especially well for individual projects. For group projects, where there are many moving parts and many members to depend on, I try and take initiative at the beginning to divide the tasks based off of capability and the time that each member is willing to put in. This ensures the overall quality of the project at the due date. And overall, these methods help me reduce stress nearer to assessment deadlines.
Now that you are about to graduate, are you feeling nervous about getting a job?
I'm not nervous as I am preparing for it. I've broadened my horizons to the global market. To that effect, I'm doing an internship at TWT Science and Innovation in Germany. Additionally, I'm looking for jobs outside of Sydney, including India and the US, as they're both very important centers for software development.
Lastly, what's your advice to the students?
My main suggestion is to ensure that you're learning other life skills along with academics. At Harvard, I was part of the hiking club. In high school, I was part of Macquarie Robotics. Make sure to spend a lot of time with your family, keep working hard, be curious, surround yourself with great friends. You're going to achieve great success in life.
Thanks a lot, Aashi. I hope the audience enjoyed this interesting interview today. Really glad to have you as a guest. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for inviting me. This was fun.
Thank you. And for everyone else, thank you for being a wonderful audience. I hope you enjoyed the session today. I'll keep bringing more such content. Keep watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.